Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Grimer was a surprisingly simple solo run. Let's follow that up with a much harder one. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon X with a team of only one Pikachu? Man, this one won't be easy. Pikachu is a super weak first form electric type that I've done quite a few of these challenge runs with at this point. Speed is really the only thing that we're particularly good at. Other than that, we're just a really frail Pokemon. It's worth pointing out, though, that starting in Gen 6, they gave Pikachu 10 more base defense and special defense, so believe it or not, this is an upgrade from how weak Pikachu used to be. By level up, we learn a few good moves like Thunderbolt at level 29, and Double Team, which I figure might be required if we're gonna win, but really there isn't much that I want. By TM, we can improve our type coverage a little with things like Dig, Brick Break, and Grass Knot, but I don't really expect that to make this easy. Overall, we're a really limited Pokemon. Like always, this script is being written as I go through with the challenge, so this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think there's a chance that I could win, but I think it's also quite likely that our stats just aren't good enough for us to make it past the Elite Four. If we get absolutely brick-walled anywhere, I think it's gonna be from the dragons during the Elite Four. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Pikachu. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So, right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Chespin with Pikachu so that we can do the whole run with it. I name him Dedenne, clearly the same Pokemon. Our nature is modest for more special attack and less attack. I tried punching our Pikachu into an IV calculator, but obviously we can't get his exact numbers. All I know is that our special attack is pretty good, and our attack isn't. That might come back to bite us since we're gonna need both physical and special attacks this run, but I do like that kind of challenge, and it's the best Pikachu that I've gotten so far, so I think I'm gonna give it a go. Alright, so I know what you're all wondering right away. Am I going to get the light ball from the Pikachus that you can find in the wild near the start of the game? Well, I know that I want to, but I don't think that I should yet. The Pikachu's highest encounter rate is only 6% in the forest, and 5% of that time, the wild Pikachu will have Light Ball. It's an item that doubles Pikachu's attack and special attack when held, so it's a huge upgrade for us, and probably required if we're going to win this run in the end. I mean, 6% encounter and 5% of them having Light Ball is pretty bad. Just catching every Pikachu I see is gonna take forever, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is do the Bug Gym and the Sycamore fight, and then I can go get my hands on the TM for Thief. That's gonna let us get the Light Ball a lot faster, and we're gonna need it because you know the Rock Gym is usually horrible in these challenges. Hey, at least it's a Rock Gym with no Ground-type Pokemon for once, so we can actually use our good moves, but I still don't really expect it to be easy unless the Light Ball lets us sweep them. Let's go get the early fights out of the way. Also, by the way, sorry about the messed up looking footage at the beginning of the run. I didn't realize that I still had my emulator maximized from my last recording session of the Ultra Moon playthrough on the channel, and I forgot that when it is maximized, it messes up how it's captured on the challenges. So until partway through the Rock Gym, it's gonna be messed up. It's just the top screen and it's a little too zoomed in. Really sorry about that. Thankfully, it doesn't mess up any really important battles. So I got to the Bug Gym at a pretty low level of 10, and it was a close call. You'd think being super effective against our whole team would make it easy, but we actually got hit pretty hard with Bubble and Infestation. If it wasn't for Static Paralyzing Pavilion to give us the speed advantage and thus a free turn, I think we would have fainted. Alright, this was crazy. How did I never know about this? I lost Professor Sycamore, and then we just moved on and he let me progress anyway. I always thought that winning here was required the whole time. I guess I just restarted the game whenever I would faint. Well, I guess now I can pick up our Gen 1 starter. Hey guys, let me know down below what your favorite Gen 1 starter is. Sandile, Male Nidoran, or Machop. I love all these Pokemon, but I think I'm gonna go with Nidoran. It looks especially cool in this game. Alright, now it's time to grind for the Light Ball, but much to my surprise, I can't learn Thief. I guess I should have double-checked that when I looked up the TM move list, but I'm so used to most Pokemon being able to learn it. Still, I started grinding for a Light Ball, and it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I was wondering why I kept running into so many Pikachu despite being a pretty rare Pokemon, but then I remembered something I saw once on Bulbapedia. The description in-game doesn't tell you this, but if the Pokemon at the front of your party has either Static or Magnet Pull, then you'll run into more electric Pokemon in the wild. That's actually really useful right now since it made finding Pikachu really trivial. I was ready to spend a good half an hour on this, but because of static making Pikachu so common, we got a Light Ball in the first few minutes. It really wasn't bad at all. And hey, if you appreciate these videos and you want to watch more Pokemon stuff, check out the Pokemon Ultra Moon playthrough with me and my friends. Or maybe my streams of the first ever full Pokemon Nuzlocke that I've been doing in Fire Red. Both are here on this channel, and I know that you'll enjoy them. Now I need to go get to the Rock Gym. On my way there, I took the Jaw Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Alright, well, first try at the Rock Gym, and we pretty easily get taken out by the first Pokemon. I figured that we wouldn't stand a chance yet, so it's alright. We're not that far from level 29, and that's when we get Thunderbolt. I bet it really won't be too bad after that. So I get to level 29 and learn Thunderbolt. Well, we're faster than Amora, even after speed down from Rock Tomb, so we took it out, but the Tyrant after took us to 1 health off another Rock Tomb, and the speed down made us go second to get taken out on the next round. It was rough, but I'm sure 1 Rock Tomb miss would let us win, so I'm gonna keep trying. Only 2 tries later, and thanks to a critical Thunderbolt getting an early knockout, we got an easy win. Now we can go make some progress. Alright, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good about the next long chunk of the run. We have our rival, the Fighting Gym, and our rival again, then the Grass Gym. I guess I kind of worry about the Grass Gym every time, but it's basically never dangerous, so we'll probably just overpower them. And the Fighting Gym is probably going to be pretty easy. We're frail, but we also hit pretty fast and hard with special attacks, and her best Pokemon is weak to electricity. That just leaves the rival fights, and I'm not really sure how those are going to go. I could see us maybe needing to replace Quick Attack with something that hits a little harder like Return. Who knows though, maybe it's going to be really easy. But before we get there, we run into this very bad snag, a required trainer with Golett. It's immune to literally every single attacking move that I can learn at this point in the game. That means we have to go lose every power point I have against wild Pokemon, and then come back to this fight and hope we can win with struggle. This could be a weird one. Alright, so I ran mostly out of power points just having 1 Thunderbolt and 3 double teams left. I tried that a few times, and I kept running into this problem where if we can't dodge enough, then the damage from our own struggling will make us faint before we can knock the Golett out. After a bunch of failed tries, I realized that if I just ran out of double teams early, I could just avoid the uproars in the first place and go straight for struggle against Golett to win. And it worked! I really hope I don't have to fight any other ghost and ground types, or at least not until after we get Grass Knot from the Grass Gym. So the rival actually took a couple tries. You see, if we do this fight normally and we just Thunderbolt our way through, then Meowstic uses Light Screen and we don't end up doing enough damage to survive all the way to the end. We just faint to Quilladin at the end. It's probably Quilladin, right? Because Quill Paladin, you know? But once I tried again and I stalled by using a bunch of double teams against Absol to wait for the Light Screen to be over, we won pretty easily. After that was the Fighting Gym, but it was a one-shot sweep. Hawlucha was actually faster than us, but it just used Hone Claws instead of attacking, so we were fine. How's the next rival fight gonna go, though? Well, our rival actually ended up being even easier, despite not leveling up very much between the last time and this time. It was enough to one-shot Meowstic, so I never had to worry about Light Screen. Guys, it finally happened. The Go-Goat in the Grass Gym has Bulldoze, a move we're weak against. We can't hit him hard enough to keep him from taking us out. It's fine though, maybe I can double team enough at the start to get past it. Alright, the very next try we used 3 double teams at the start, then literally just never got hit a single time the entire battle. It's not like we gave them a million chances or anything, but it's just kind of funny that nothing hit. We probably could have dodged just 1 Bulldoze and been fine. Alright, so as I feint my way across the desert over to the power plant, we can talk about upcoming battles. I think the Electric Gym is going to be easy since we can learn Dig, and I figure that our rival will be easy as well. Then it's the Fairy Gym, and that was only hard 1 time, and I can't think of any reason why it should be hard this time. I think we might actually just have an easy time for this middle part of the run, and things will get hard again around the time of the Lysandre fights. So the Electric Gym was actually really interesting. First was Emolga, and it wasn't a one-shot with our new return, so it hit us with Aerial Ace. We resisted though, so we didn't get hurt too much, and we took it out. Heliolisk is next, and it goes down from 1 hit of Dig, but Magneton is interesting. I dig right away as he sets up electric terrain. We hit Dig, and he survives because of Sturdy with a Sliver. He hits a Mirror Shot, and it lowers our accuracy. We hit Return as he uses a Hyper Potion. Then we use Dig again, but not before getting hit by a Thunderbolt that nearly made us faint. We won, but it was really close. Against our rival, most of our team were just one-shots, but Chestnut was really tough. Thunderbolt was doing the most damage, so I had to keep using that, and we lost most of our health in the process. I don't think this is too bad yet, but I could see us having to level up more by the time of the final rival fight. Next is the Fairy Gym, and the Mawile at the start was easy, but Mr. Mime was a long fight. She used Light Screen right away, so I started buying time with Dig to try and time it out so that Light Screen could wear off. Thanks to her Hyper Potion, we were able to stall for quite a while without taking damage, and took it out as the Light Screen went down. Last is Sylveon, who did a lot of damage with Thunderbolt, but we still managed to take it down. It was close. Alright, well that last little bit was harder than I thought it was gonna be. Kinda makes me think that the next few fights won't be as easy as I thought either. We have our rival, the Psychic Gym, then the 3 fights with Lysandre. The Psychic Gym should be easy since we're good against a lot of her team, and I'm not really sure about our rival, but it might be fine. Lysandre though, I'm never really sure about. His Water Onyx should be easy, but the rest of it, I just don't know. I'll just fight most of the trainers on my way there for levels, and we'll see what happens when I get there. Alright, I was worried this might happen. Most of our rivals' team aren't one-shots anymore, so we take some hits getting to Chestnut, just to end up quickly fainting to a Brick Break just being too strong for us. Well, we can't learn anything super effective against him, so all I can do is prepare better. I'll try getting just a few levels. So I lost a bunch of times at level 58 thanks to not being able to two-shot Chestnut, but at level 60 I was able to, and as a result we could hardly survive. Because it's hailing now though, we almost didn't. I had literally 1 health by the end of the fight. Thankfully, the Psychic Gym itself was really easy. We swept most of it thanks to having a type advantage. I really don't know how Lysandre is gonna go, though. Alright, well, I got to the first Lysandre fight, and he was actually just a one-shot sweep. I mean, I knew he had some Pokemon that were strong against, but I didn't think it would literally be a sweep. Well, the second Lysandre fight was just a sweep as well. Okay, there's no way we're gonna sweep all 3, right? This is Cyrus and Platinum all over again. Pikachu's just great at taking down the leaders of evil organizations, I guess. Oh, yep. It was a sweep. I thought maybe Mega Water Onyx could take a hit, but nope, apparently it can't. Well, that was surprising. I mean, I thought that it might not be too bad, but I didn't think I would sweep the whole thing. What's even left? Sycamore, our friends on the bridge, Ice Gym, and our rival. Sycamore's always easy, and our friends are usually easy. The Ice Gym was hard, like, once ever, so I could probably just get Brick Break and sweep it. Then our rival might be pretty hard. Maybe I was wrong to think that I might not be able to win this one. It seems like it's going pretty well. We still get one-shot by ground moves occasionally, but we don't run into that type all that often, so it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, first is Sycamore, but he was incredibly easy. 2 of his Pokemon are weak to Thunderbolt, so he was doomed. Then it's our friends, and really the only reason this was close is because you can't heal between the first 2 fights. So between getting hit a bit and getting poisoned off Poison Point, we had a close call, but we still won on the first try just by using Thunderbolt a lot. Alright, free ride's over. The Abomasnow at the start means that it's hailing the whole fight, and thanks to his Hyper Potions, he can hold on for ages, so that hail damage builds up. Cryogonal is a one-shot, but last is Avalugg, and we come nowhere close to a one-shot, then feint to Avalanche. Maybe Thunderbolt would work better. I know that Avalugg's defense is high, but his special defense isn't. Oh wow. Next try goes the same until Avalugg, when we crit Thunderbolt for a one-shot. I don't know if we needed that crit or not, but I'm not complaining. That was pretty awesome. In an alternate world, I probably didn't take him out in one hit and got one shot by Avalanche. I like this world a lot more. Alright, next is our rival. 1 Thunderbolt took out Meowstic, and obviously the Vaporeon was a one-shot right after. Alteria's next, and we nearly one-shot it and paralyzed it, but we didn't faint right away, so it did a little bit of damage to us. After that is Chestnut, though, who just hardly went down in 2 hits, but did tons of damage to us in the process. That let Absol outspeed us with Quick Attack and easily take us out. If we could get just slightly stronger, then I could 2-shot Altaria, and I think that we could win it pretty easy. Alright, so after coming back 5 levels later, things go much better. It's mostly just because we have a bit more health, so we aren't quite in range of a one-shot from the Quick Attack at the end. Now that we're the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. Well, we had to level up a bunch because of ace trainers that I kept losing to, so I don't have a whole lot of room left to raise these stats. Yeah, 155 special attack is not really that great for being level 90, but because we have that light ball, we actually have 310. We are very much a glass cannon, and I suspect that what might happen is that the first few members of the Elite Four won't be too bad, but that Dresna's Dragon team will survive a few hits and take us out. If we can make it to the Pokemon Champion, though, then I think we have a solid chance at winning. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Fire Trainer Malva. Her team is literally a sweep. Kinda thought that Torkoal was gonna survive a hit, but it didn't. I figure the next one's gonna be just as easy, right? Second is Water Trainer Cybold. Yeah, that's what I thought. One-shot sweep. Let's just move on to Wickstrom. I have no idea what that one's gonna be like. Third is Steel Trainer Wickstrom. This is a weird fight in that it goes the exact same way every time. Klefki at the start hits Torment, so we can't use the same move twice in a row, so we take it out. And then against Probopass, we kept swapping between Thunderbolt and Brick Break. Both would get a one-shot if not for Sturdy. We always get hit once, but he uses some full restores and then we take him out. But third is Aegislash, and we can't attack on the first round due to Torment and him protecting himself, so we use Double Team. Then we hit Thunderbolt, he changes stance, and we feint to Shadow Claw. I tried changing it up a bit, but when I used Double Team, I never had any luck. I think it's time that I just get close to max level. I need to survive another hit. Alright, 4 levels later and a few tries later. Right away, I use Double Team once to dodge the first move, then Thunderbolt to take out Klefki as it uses Torment. As Probopass came out, I hit Brick Break and we crit, but of course Sturdy kept it up. Earth Power hit us kinda hard, and we put it in a full restore loop until we took it out. Aegislash is next, and it's so random in what it does. I just used Double Team and started trying to fight it. I don't know why it was doing the same thing before and different things now, different level I guess. Sometimes it would protect itself, but we can only attack it once every other turn from Torment, so I used the non-Thunderbolt turns to use Double Team. Eventually we got an opening, and we took it out pretty fast. Last is Scizor, but it goes down in one Thunderbolt. That was actually kind of a clean win. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drasna. First is Dragalge. I just realized recently that this Pokemon is made of algae, and so this is definitely pronounced Dragalge. I've seen you guys mad at me in the comments, and I still wasn't sure how you wanted me to pronounce it until recently. Anyway, sorry. First is Dragalge, who hits us hard with Sludge Bomb and hardly goes down in 2 hits. Second is Altaria, who's a one-shot. And second is Noivern, who's also a one-shot. Last is Dredagon, who took a Thunderbolt, nearly made his feint with a critical Dragon Tail, then we finished him off. That was actually kind of an easy first try. I didn't see that coming. Finally, Pokemon Champion Diantha. I had to level up to max for this one, and I'll show you why in a minute. First is Hawlucha, who's obviously a one-shot, and second is Tyrantrum, who is usually a one-shot with Thunderbolt, but not always. Third is Goodra, who never used to be a one-shot and would mess us up a lot, but now that we're level 100, it is a one-shot. Auroros is always a one-shot with Brick Break, but next is Gourgeist, and it's only sometimes a one-shot with Thunderbolt. That messed me up a lot at level 95, but at this level, it survived, used Trick or Treat, healed, then got one-shot. It's not too bad. Last is Gardevoir, and we lost most of our health to a Shadow Ball, then kept hitting Thunderbolt, watching her drop to a Sliver, and then she full heals back up. It happened 3 times in a row before our 4th Thunderbolt finally got a one-shot. You know what, all things considered, that was a really smooth run. I went into it thinking that I'd probably get brickwalled late in the run, but it actually went pretty well. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, with one you guys picked over on Patreon. Pokemon Emerald with a team picked by a random number generator. Yeah, we're doing another RNG run so soon after the previous one, because, I mean, the gold one obliterated the Patreon poll, so I put up the Emerald one, and it obliterated the poll again. I guess you guys just really like the RNG runs. Hey, I can do it more often. I think it's a really fun gimmick. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. It's outro time, and I haven't streamed it all in like 2 weeks because I've been so unbelievably busy with stuff, and I am still super unbelievably busy with stuff. So I really hope that you guys have been enjoying all the Pokemon Ultra Moon that has been tiding you over. I still have a little bit more of that to edit and put up, and of course I record more almost every week on Sunday, and then I try to edit it early on in the week to put up in the playlist and everything so that you guys are tided over. And so I hope you're not dying to see more Nuzlocke too badly. I will get back to streaming more Nuzlocke and Super Mario Mon and Pokemon Fire Red Rocket Edition, because all those are really fun, and PokeRogue. Oh god, I have so much to do. Sorry, I've just been so busy, so busy. So $50 supporter shout out here. Thank you again so much, Jacob Busby, Javid Kusaro, Grayson Fitz, Tara Luis, Dark Soul, Young Smoky VP, Gabriel Thornton, Hernandez Punchstick, and the -1 for your continued support. I need to get editing so fast so that all those wonderful names I listed and all these wonderful names you see on screen right now get to watch the challenges early in the YouTube member thing and the Patreon thing. And I can't do that until I get this edited, so I should probably get editing. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.